to our second Zoom meeting, the Rotary Club of Raleigh, March 30. We are not going to allow the coronavirus to slow us down, to stop us from our mission. And I'm glad to see that thanks to the hard work and skill of a lot of people, including Linda and Val and Mike, our program chair, we're able to continue our regularly scheduled Monday lunch meetings on Zoom. So we're going to continue to have our meetings at 12:15 on Mondays with great speakers, fellowship, camaraderie, and of course, service above self. And Linda and Val, I'm hearing a lot of reverberation. Is that coming? Are you hearing me clearly or not? Elsa's shaking her head.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback as well. I've tried muting everyone and it's still happening.
All right. Well, let's just continue and maybe this will sort itself out. So I'll call upon Charles for the invocation. Is Charles on? I see that Charles Edwards has joined the meeting. Charles, if you're able to hear, if you can give the invocation.
All right. During these days when everywhere we turn we hope for better news, let us take a deep breath and focus on the world around us. Let my eyes be opened. Let me awake and see the beauty that surrounds me. Let me hear the singing birds make their wonderful sound. Let me thank God for my health that has been good to me so far. Let all my dreams come true when wishing upon a star. Let me be thankful for friendship that is lovingly given me. Let me never forget the caring that was made for me to see and to do as a Rotarian. If you will join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag,
To the flag
of the United States of
America, and to the republic
for which
it stands,
one
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. So for those of you who were not able to hear at the outset, I was just noting and grateful for the fact that the coronavirus is not preventing the Rotary Club of Raleigh from continuing our regularly scheduled meetings. And it's great that through this technology and thanks to some very bright people on this meeting, including Linda and Val, we're able to meet online through this Zoom platform and to enjoy enlightening speakers, to continue to learn, to continue in fellowship, and to continue to serve others, as is our mission, service above self. So we're going to persevere through this time of pandemic crisis, continue to meet, continue our mission, and continue to serve others. And we'll be hearing more on all of those topics as we move through the agenda before us today. So we have the happy dollars in the cart bucket, as always. And we ask everyone to give generously, as always, to the cart bucket and for happy dollars. And you can simply email your donation to Linda, and she'll add it to your Rotary invoice. And we can continue to support research to combat Alzheimer's as we have up to this point. We'll continue it as always. So I think that in terms of conduct of the meeting, the speaker will be able to speak and be heard by everyone, and everyone who wishes to ask a question of our speaker can email Val, and Val can unmute you, and you'll be able to ask questions. You can send a text message or an email to Val and Linda, and we can have communications that way. And
or
Val,
you
why
can
don't I
put it in the
turn
group, or
turn
you
it
can
over
put it
to
in the
you.
group chat.
Yeah, group chat. Yeah, thank you, Val. Let's see, other announcements before we go forward. Okay, we have a few members who haven't paid their dues yet, and that's always the case. Always people are busy and have other priorities, and especially with all of the disruption that we've all faced due to the coronavirus, people have fallen behind on their dues. But the club continues to rely on the members' payments of dues to make our contributions to the Rotary International Foundation, our club foundation, the district, and for our great programs that we all benefit from, and more importantly, that benefit others. So I encourage everyone to get caught up on your dues, and we'll be sending out dues notices April 1 for the next quarter, and just pay those in the usual way. You can send a check to Linda, or you may be able to pay online. So thank you all very much for your continuing support of our club and of the foundations that we support and the wonderful programs that go to help the less fortunate in our community and in our society. And in that regard, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Gina for a message about service and service opportunities, even in this time where we're required to be physically distant from one another. Gina?
She was having some difficulty logging in. Are you with us, Gina?
I am. I just joined. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I guess we're on the service update, so perfect timing for me to join. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Let me see if I could share my video too. Okay, perfect. Well, hello, Rotarians. For the next 2 months, we are trying to kind of focus our donations and efforts to 3 different organizations that we feel that are in line with Rotary, our club, as well as the initiatives for this year. So Linda sent out an email, I think it was on March 26th, and those were asking for monetary donations to either UNC Rex, the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, and or the Salvation Army. So those are the 3 organizations that we're trying to kind of direct monetary donations. Today, I can say that we have over $300 that has been donated to the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina. So thanks for those who have donated to that virtual food drive, as well as some of the donations that have made to other organizations. Additionally from that, we do have 2 service projects that are going to be held in the month of April. Willingly, we will be following the guidelines from the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina on that. But those 2 events will be held on Wednesday, April 15th. That's an evening event from 6 to 8 p.m. And then the other one is a Saturday event from April 25th from 9 to 12 p.m. These are for people who will be able to follow COVID-19 restrictions. So if you're feeling healthy and you abide by all of the restrictions and want to give your time to the food bank, we would love to have you. Sign-ups are available, but we cannot sign up as a group. It has to be an individual sign-up. So you won't see the Rotary Club there. You just have to sign up on your own. But those are the 2 times that we have allotted for in-person service kind of donations. That's it for me. Unless anybody has questions, I will be around, as well as please feel free to email me and or call me with anything that you need. Thanks, guys.
Thanks very much, Gina. And I'd like to say a special word of thanks to Gina, to Mark Hackett, and to everyone on the service committee for continuing to find ways for our club members to serve others in need during this time. And we do have 3 great nonprofit charities that we've identified that members can donate to easily online that are addressing direct needs of people in our community, including hunger. So please donate generously. That's a great way to serve. And then as Gina and Mark and we were discussing earlier, look for opportunities to help elderly and shut-in people in your own neighborhood or community in a way that can be done safely. And now I'd like to turn the meeting over to Christy for a word about membership.
Hey everyone, just a reminder that even though we have postponed our Discover Rotary event that was set for mid-May, we still want to get ahead and plan ahead for it and put together a potential member database so that we'll know who to reach out to whenever we do reschedule. So if you guys can send me any potential members you can think of and their contact information, just email it to me. That would be awesome. And I'll put my email address in this Zoom group chat for everyone. Other than that, we mentioned last week that a lot of our the district other clubs are doing virtual socials. So I know we're all missing our 5th meeting socials during our social distancing phase. So if anybody's interested in doing one of those, just a virtual meetup, or it's more laid back than meeting and just kind of see everybody's smiley, happy faces, then let us know. You can let me know in the group chat or shoot me an email. Just going to kind of gauge interest in that to see if it's worth setting one up. Other than that, that is actually all I have right now. So thanks, guys.
Great. Chrissy, thanks so much. And to all the members, please continue to be giving thought to new members, nominees, prospective new members, and send those names to Christy or Linda or me. And we'll follow up with them because we want to come out of this even stronger with a growing membership. In terms of a member social, I had a social gathering with a group of 9 people last week, Thursday evening, where we raised a glass and we just chatted about what's going on with our families and told some funny stories, and it worked really well. So maybe we could do something like that, but send suggestions to Christy and Linda, and we'll follow up on those. Let's see, Southeast Raleigh, there's a lot great to talk about there. If Mark Hackett is on, I'd like to turn the floor over to Mark.
Hey, Jim. Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. First, I'll say that in terms of the virus, for those of you who need barbers and can't get to them, I found a new use for the Rotary hat. So make sure those. In terms of Southeast Raleigh Rotary Club, they're doing great. They have officers in place, including officer-elects for the new year. They are, as of Wednesday, I guess, will start charging dues. They have about 18 members, but they also have at least a couple of applications for new members. So already growing, which is great. They started meetings probably a month and a half ago, had their pinning service a little over a month ago. And like I said, things are going well. They're meeting as a board. They had, because of the virus last week, they met via Zoom and had at least 10, 12 people on. So, it's over half of the club. So again, they're doing pretty well. They were planning a service project to occur in April, which will have to be postponed, which is challenging because they spend their meetings right now mostly talking business and getting organized. But as we know, the way to really get folks involved is through service and service projects. So they'll be challenged for a bit to make sure they're able to keep the interest of their membership until they can get back meeting face to face and do the social and the networking and the service projects. But I'm joined in kind of mentoring and facilitating the relationship between us and that club by Eric, Valerie, and Linda. I appreciate them working as a team as we try to get the club established. So thanks, Jim.
Mark, thank you, and I really appreciate, and we all do, your and Val's and Eric's and Linda's engagement with this new club. I was privileged to attend the pinning ceremony for the new members of this Southeast Raleigh club, and I've got to tell you, this is a fantastic group of people. They are really enthusiastic. They're really underway. They kicked off the new club with 16 new members, and I just heard Mark say that they've got additional members who are interested. We've had some initial dialogue with them through Mark about a service project, a joint service project with our two clubs. Once we're out of this situation with the virus and we can gather, maybe creating or enhancing an urban garden or a Southeast Raleigh high school grounds. So great things ahead with this new club that we've helped to found. And I think all of our members can feel really, really fantastic about this accomplishment. So now let me just give a few brief announcements. Birthdays, Kirk Warner, his birthday tomorrow. It couldn't be more than 50 based on the way he looks, but we'll have to ask Kirk for the actual number. Harrison Turner, his birthday is on April the 5th, according to my note here. And Harrison's had a great promotion at his bank. So congratulations to Harrison. Anniversary, Scott and Kristen Stroud, April the 2nd. And Eric and Jamie Larson on April the 5th, marking the Big 4-0 40 years. So congratulations, Eric. That's fantastic, Eric and Jamie Larson. And now I'll turn the program over to past President Mary Moss for an introduction of our very special speaker for today.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me now? Can everyone hear me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Yep.
That's great. All right. Welcome, everyone. And it's a pleasure to be able to introduce our speaker today. This is a huge pleasure for me. I first heard about Melinda when a friend of mine, anybody who knows Annabelle Jones Hyde, she was a friend of mine in college and now as a grown-up, and she was telling me about this amazing organization that I'd not heard of, a new nonprofit. And so she put me in touch with Melinda, and we have not been able yet to schedule coffee. We certainly have been trying, but I'm going to tell you through my interactions with Melinda thus far, even though we haven't actually sat down and talked at length, that she is a bright light on the planet, a bright light. I saw her receive an award at the Women's Giving Network. That was another place where I actually did get to shake her hand and talk to her. So we have a treat in store today. That's the first thing I wanted to say. So Melinda took a giant leap of faith and jumped ship from her corporate success to follow a dream. Recognizing the gifts she was given and skills she developed over the years in a successful career had a higher purpose, Melinda surrendered to the unfolding of a bigger life vision to lift women up who were less fortunate. In the open space created by that brave jump into the unknown, she began the process of bringing Bloom Here, a space and place of empowerment for women survivors to life. Bloom Here, what a beautiful name. In summer 2019, Bloom Here opened the first brick and mortar home where women who've been released from prison are leaving halfway houses, shelters, or domestic violence safe houses can come to heal, to learn, and to grow their own vision and path to a fresh start and a new life. Hence the name. Under this roof, Bloom Here will provide services, classes, and training from resume writing and interview skills to nutrition counseling, yoga and meditation to personal hygiene and beauty guidance. Bloom Here seeks to empower women who've been challenged by difficult paths, events, or life choices to recognize there's always a chance to bloom again, and with the right support, take their own leaps across to a better life. Melinda's long-term vision for Bloom Here is to have multiple Bloom Here centers in cities across the country to serve women in need. We look to not only provide necessary life skills and self-care tools to those who've not been offered them before, but also to encourage successful, gifted women to share their knowledge, wisdom, and experience to lift and empower others. We only rise when we rise together. Melinda is known for her sense of humor, her passion for life, her ability to talk to anyone, anywhere about anything, and make those who are lucky enough to share space with her to feel loved and at home. She is thrilled to bring this vision to life. And I'm so pleased to be able to introduce her and look forward to hearing her presentation. It's all yours, Melinda.
I'm going to take you everywhere with me, Mary.
Oh, I would gladly go.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes? Okay, great. So I will have to say this is my first virtual Zoom meeting since this is everything. Our world is turned upside down. I'm very grateful to be here with all of you. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I love to share the story of Bloom Here because I think right now too, more than anything, it is something that people need to be aware of and what we're doing. Before I speak and kind of go into the whole mission, I always like for people to know where I'm coming from. And obviously it's good to know who's speaking to you, right? You always like to be like, okay, who's this person speaking to me? I am Melinda Taylor, and I am actually a survivor of childhood trauma, which led to me being in adult abusive relationships until I was 38. So I also am Melinda Taylor, founder of Bloom Here, a space and place of empowerment for women. So at 38, I started to hear the call of God. And there was something about this community, and I could hear him. And just so you know, I used to travel 90% of my job. I ran the beauty industry domestically and internationally for over 20 years of my life. And I continued to hear on these planes, always on the plane ride, God saying, there's something bigger, there's something bigger. And my goal in life, just so all of you know, was to wear high heels and wear business suits and not marry and not to have children. I definitely did that. But once again, as I said, at 38, God kept pushing me, and I knew that there was something bigger for me. So as God and I took this journey together, I kind of fought back as anything, and I was like, I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not sure. Has anybody ever ran a nonprofit? It's not fun. Sometimes it's not fun, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So as I started in 2017, I really truly decided that it was time for me to follow what God was saying for me to follow. At that time, I quit my job. I sold my home and cashed out my 401k. And that was June 2017. And that was where I knew what I had to do and was make the investment in Raleigh to go and start a home for women that could have accessibility. Because at 38, when God showed me what happened to me as a child, I had everything that I needed to get better because I had money. And I could go to therapy. I could go to nice places. I could go to where people would treat me nice. I didn't have to stand in lines. I could go and get my medication at the nice drugstore. I could go to yoga to help learn how to calm my system down from the trauma that had happened to me as a child. Everything was pretty while I was healing. And what I didn't know is that that's what God was leading me to do, is to gift back this and say, we need to help people that are in compromised and addicts, abuse, trafficking. We need to help these women be able to come to a place where they can heal with integrity and dignity and love. So that is where I came up with Bloom Here, a space and place of empowerment. That's where I came up that I was going to have a home and that I was going to make it really pretty. And I also came up with that I was going to let women live in this home for 2 years, rent, dental, and mental free. So as I started my journey after I quit my job in 2017, I want to let you know that I put my faith into myself and my community. I put my faith into making time for myself to listen to what God was saying. I also put my faith into community to reach out and ask for help. So as I went about all of this, I had to find a place to rent downtown Raleigh. As we know, it's very hard to find a place to rent, and nobody wanted to rent to addicts. Once again, God showed me that he was with me the whole entire time by found me someone that has allowed us to rent a home there. And that was a year ago. August of 2019, August 2nd, I opened the doors to Bloom Here to 4 women. We got our nonprofit status. We started doing all the things that we needed to do, fundraising. I could not believe that as I continued to go into this journey, what was happening. I don't know if any of you ever have been led and know what it is to listen and to be led by God. And I don't know what all of your religion is. It might not be God. I believe in it all because I think we have a lot out there going on for us. And when the women come in, we love across all religions. So, for me, when we opened that home was a big moment for me in my life. As the women came in, a lot of them thought that they were going back into either a trafficking situation or that I was a lunatic, truly, because they were like, are you serious that you're going to provide me a home for 2 years, rent, dental, and mental free? I will have to tell you, I could not do that without securing our partners that I do like to always make everyone aware. Neighbor Health gives them all of their health care for free. All of our mental, which is probably the #1 thing that helps, is the one-on-one therapy is given for free from Believe Therapy. And then Dr. Jeff Morrison does all of their dental for free. And he does that because their dental, a lot of them have bad teeth, they're crack addicts, and they can't smile. And if you know women or anybody, as you can see me, it makes your heart good to smile, right? Everybody smile at me. Yeah, see, feels good, doesn't it? So that's what we do. We make sure they have all that. Other than that, so for us, I see that, thank you, Julie, for moving my, nope, go back for a minute. So you can see, and we can send this out to you, the 2-year program, really, it's home and recovery, employment and education, advocacy and empowerment, and then graduation and beyond. Because the graduation and beyond piece is really key for us, for the fact that we want to keep these women in a community. I bet with all of you, such as the Rotary Club, as you have people that you can count on, as I always say, there's about 6 people that women and men have as friends. Well, these women have no people. And so what we're trying to do is build them up a bench strength of people that they can call on in friendships. So it happens through the whole step. So I'll go into the next step. If you want to go ahead, and Julie, we'll go to the next slide. Our home is located downtown Raleigh. It has to be because we use we use the bus routes. We have to. We use bus routes, we use cabs, we walk a lot of places, which right now is good. Not in public places, but we walk around. But we also, these women, we wanted them to have a safe place. So we support adult women 18 or older. They cannot have children because we're not ready yet for that. The required, so when a woman comes in for us, she knows that it's going to be 2 years. She makes that commitment of 2 years. And some of these women do have children. Most of them are in the system. And what we do is help those women get those children back during the 2 years. The one way that a woman will graduate early is that she'll either, if she gets her child back, then her graduation will come early, because that's what we intend to do, is help them get their children back. Everything is free of charge. We have donors. All of our donors are private. And I have no clue. I cannot tell you that God just provided people to come around us and support us, which is incredible for right now. We are, as every nonprofit is, we are in a little, we will have a gap, but we're figuring that out day by day as we go. We offer recovery. The recovery, the therapy, the medical, sustainability, physical health, that's everything that we do every day, right? We all get to get up, we get to go for walks, we get to do our thing that helps set us up for success. And that's what we're doing with these women. It's a very structured environment, which is good. But it's also an environment where these women it's self-governed. So there's no one at night. So the house gets locked down from 9:30 to 7:30 every night. Now they can get out, just so you know. That's always one of the questions. If there's a fire, it's just an alarm system. The next thing what I did is employment. I kept thinking, okay, being a nonprofit, when I took the 2 years off to do this and start really digging into where was the gap in Raleigh, which we're all aware is housing. And then B, what can I do to help sustain? Because I come from a business world, and sustaining right now, no one knows how we're going to sustain. I mean, we're all trying to figure that out. But for us, what we did is we created a body oil line called Hope, Love, and Faith. And that eventually, once we move past this and we keep going, because our world will go, is that will sustain us, but that's also going to offer the jobs for the women, which is really cool, because they'll be able to work in a place where that is a trauma-free, and they'll be able to have a skill set. So each of the oils are different formulas, and I will go into a little more of that. And then education. Right now they are doing everything online. Zoom, they have been pushed into Zoom from women that never knew how to use a computer. Now we have all these women using Zoom. It was a hot mess. I'm so glad that I have a team of great people that have continued to help and lift us up, because as you guys know, moving into the Zoom world is challenging enough for people that do use computer, but people that don't use computer, if you could only imagine what that looked like, right? It's very hard just talking to myself. So can everybody smile at me? Good, thank you again. The next slide, please, Valerie. So advocacy, this is where, we have four phases. The advocacy is really to help maintain leadership roles within the program. So what we're seeing is with the women are going to not only, we have one woman, she's 7 months in, she's been clean for 9 months, and her goal is to come back in and run a Bloom Here house. So what we're doing is bringing these women back in, and we do pay $15 an hour starting. We are a big, big believer in fair pay. But we're wanting to put them back into the home or the business. We have another sister organization, which is called Thistle Farms. I'm not sure if any of you know who Becca Stevens is. She's an incredible woman. I met her about 1.5 years into this program. me doing this, and I was like, oh my God. She's like, we're doing the same thing. So she has come along as a mentor for me, which is really good, because this part of the running a nonprofit has been, obviously not, well, challenging. I'll be honest. It's been very challenging. And running a house of 4 women and never having children. Because in one day I had 4 children, just so you know. 4 adult children, which are even harder to manage, I think, than real children. Not sure. But they're glorious. They're incredible human beings. And I think that is where, at this point, sometimes I get emotional, because they are human beings. They are like you. They are like your mother. They're your daughter. They're your sister. They just didn't have a shot, didn't have a chance. Maybe they did make the wrong decision. And I think we've all been there where we've made a wrong decision before. And their wrong decisions led them down a road that they couldn't help. And I'm going to tell you, Bloom Here, we are here to lift them up and help them with dignity, because that is what everyone deserves in the world. When they graduate from the 2-year program, they become a Sister for Life, which the Sister for Life is really, like I said, we bring them back into the business, we bring them into the home, then they can help other sisters through the graduate program. Right now, we have 1 home. Our plan is to continue to build a home a year. We were fast tracking a little faster, but now we're having to relook, as everybody is, at your budget to see what we can and can't do. But that is the goal. And we really just want to provide stable employment for these women. We want them to have a place that they can come to work. Even if they choose not to work in the Bloom Here body oil sector, if they don't do the house, at least they will have a different, they will have the skill set. I will tell you, Van Muir from Angus Barn has been working with all the girls and is asked to hire them when she reopens, and give them actually 80% benefits and pay them $15 an hour, which is incredible. So the community for us has been reaching out in ways like that. So Julie, if you'll go ahead and go to the next one. This is really big for us, and this is the Justice Enterprise. I'm going to hold until she gets to the next slide. So here's the Justice Enterprise, Hope, Love, and Faith. This is made by a community of women survivors. I will tell you right now, before our pandemic happened, we had been making these on our kitchen table. If you could imagine running a whole company out of a 1,000-square-foot home and running it off the kitchen table, it's been a lot, but we did it. I will show you, because I have them sitting here in my office, what they look like. We've got Hope, Love, and Faith. We have the big bottles. They smell wonderful. If you're looking to buy a little gift for someone, because this, hopefully, we're projecting in 3 to 5 years, this will sustain our company 80%. And this is where we believe that it's pivotal for us to women to transition into a new life, even if they work with us for a year, to have these skill sets. So the Justice Enterprise is a crucial piece to our program. And right now, we are looking for a brick and mortar to start to run the Justice Enterprise out of. Next slide. Just so you know, before Bloom Here, there was no long-term residential program for single-home women in Wake County. I did the research, and what I looked for, there's no program like us for the fact that we provide free rent, dental, and mental for 2 years. So there was a gap. We have to fill the gap, right? In Wake County, there's 970 people are homeless, 358 are women. That number is so wrong. We got that a long time ago. There is 3,000 homeless people in Wake County right now. They just did the census check. So we also rank number 2. We vacillate from 2 to 4 in trafficking cases, new trafficking cases alone. That's a problem, and a big problem. In 2008, we were ranked number 8 in human trafficking cases. So we're really, we're trying to be out there and help these women. If you can go ahead, Julie, go to the next page. All our programs are offered free of charge. I tell this to everybody. It takes a village and it takes a community to help this. right now, I did hear you guys talking about where your money is going. I think it's awesome. The food bank needs the money, Salvation Army, that as you go about your day, if this is something that hits home to you and you feel like you would like to give a donation, please do. But also, when we get out of this, we need you. We just need people to surround us, to be with us. These women need friends. We're building them a family. So we need humans, which is always the best, as I say, when we're all in this, right? We need humans to drive them around. We need humans to really take them under. We have family programs where some of them go to your house, come to your house for Christmas or for Thanksgiving, because none of them have families. And if they did, they don't want to be with them anymore. What I want to say to you, though, as a community, as the Rotary Club, is that y'all, I've known about you forever. My father-in-law, he was involved in it in Hickory, North Carolina, where I was born and raised. I think you guys do great things. And I know right now for all of us, we're in such an unknown territory and an unknown world. And I would like to tell you that my prayers are with you daily. I'm thinking about everyone daily in the world as I go through my devotion and go through my prayers. And I just want to thank you for listening to me and hearing the story about Bloom Here. And my dream one day will be for all of you to come visit the Bloom Here house and say hello, and maybe cook a dinner with the ladies or just hang out with them, because they're really cool. And as we grow, maybe they can come to an event or anything like that, because we're really excited about what will be once we get through this. So thank you. And does anybody have any questions?
We do have a couple of questions in the chat.
Great.
Gina wants to know, how do you choose who can live at the Bloom Here home, and what's the selection process look like?
Oh, it's hard. What we do is we work with Healing Transitions, we work with HT, we work with Wake Women's Center. So first, those are the three main resources. Oak City Cares as well. And what they have to do is, first, before you come into the Bloom Here house, you have to be 30 days clean. So a lot of times we'll get calls in like probably 1 to 15 days where they've been clean, the state, someone's trying to find a place for them. And so then we go and we do an online, we do a phone interview with them, then we do a face-to-face interview with them, and then we, as a team, we have 5 people on our treatment team, and that where we decide if this person is someone that we can support in the home and give what they need, and that's truly how we decide.
And Eric Stevens asks, what has changed about life at the home in the past few weeks as a result of the pandemic?
The online. I mean, we were busy, and the biggest thing, one of the biggest thing that took us back is we were starting Step Up at White Memorial with the women. That was going to be a big program for us. So we've had to look at everything, and what has changed is how we go about our daily, they have daily devotions from 8:30 to 9:30, and then from 9:30 to 10:30, they go on walks with volunteers, and from 10:30 till 12 is they're in classes, and then from 1 to 4 they're in more classes. So it's just changed by going on Zoom, truly. And we've had a lot of our volunteers still want to see them, so they'll come over and walk with them, and to keep it the social distancing. But I will say it's interesting because I've been very nervous, I will tell you, because they've been isolated before, and so I didn't know how this was going to be. And I feel because they're now in a home and they're safe and they're sober, they are handling it so incredibly well.
So Gina also wants to know, if we were to host a dinner at the home, how many Rotarians could participate? What's your capacity?
Oh, Lord, 5. We could have truly probably 6, and it would need to be the first visit to host a dinner, if y'all wanted to come, would be need 6 women.
And do you have an age cutoff? Do you allow children?
We don't allow children because we can't support the children. We don't have the programs in place to do that. One day, I'm hoping that we will be where we want to have Bloomies called, we want to have it for the children too, but right now we just focus on the single women, because what happens is if you have a child in the system, you're able to get more money. So a lot of the single women here in Raleigh do not get a lot of funding because they don't have children.
And what type of education are you providing? You mentioned they were going to classes. What's their education like?
It depends on which ones. Like right now, when they first come in for the first 6 months, we do, oh my goodness, like all the classes such as relapse prevention, NA, AA, anger management, how to, what does it look like if you go back into, if you would go back into your lifestyle, your old lifestyle. So it's a whole curriculum of classes. DBT, DBT is something for the brain that we do. So there's just it's a certain schedule, and we do it. Everything is in 4 phases, the different classes. Relapse, prostitution, how not to relapse for prostitution. And now we're past some of those. So we're working, one is working, she's got a math tutor because she needs to get her GED, and that's her thing. So then we have that. And then she also has an English tutor. All free. Thank God.
Well, thank you so much. Jim, that looks like that's all the questions. You want to take it over?
Sure. Thank you so much. Melinda, I have a question for you. And my question is, you took a leap of faith, a major leap of faith. Was there a time that you struggled with making this dramatic change in your life to serve others in this way? And what got you over the hump so that you were actually able to not just think about devoting your life to service of others, but to really go forward and give up everything sort of in your old life, your employment, cashing out your house and your 401k, so you could put your full resources into serving these women? How did you deal with that struggle and that transition?
During it, I was fine. I will be very honest. Like it just kept coming. Like I knew that this was it, and this was what I was supposed to be doing. And I kept getting lifted up and kept getting people coming along beside me that even if I had a little bit of a bad day, something great would happen, and it'd be like, oh, okay. So there was a lot of signs that continued to say, you have to do it. I will tell you, in the last 6 months, even before the pandemic, it's gotten hard. And it's gotten hard for the fact that the money situation, I think that there's just some stuff that's going on in the world as well. But it's been hard the last couple of months, I will say, for me. And so I've had to really pray through it. I spend a lot of time with the girls because that re-energizes me to know that this is where I'm supposed to be. And I spend time with people that, such as Maggie Kane. I don't know if you know, A Place at the Table. She also took a leap of faith, and her and I are very dear friends. So we hold each other up on the days that you're like, what have we done? And so that's how I do it. And in prayer, and I go to God, and every time when it is bad, He literally gifts me something else. And it might be the smallest. It might be a check for like $15 that shows up in the mail that day. And I'm like, okay, I hear you.
Wow. Well, Melinda, I just want to say this is one of the most interesting and inspiring talks that we've had at one of our club meetings, and really want to thank you for the fantastic work that you're doing, serving these women, helping them transform their lives completely. And we just appreciate that so much, and we appreciate you being with us as our speaker for this meeting today as well. And I understand that you've been trying to get coffee with Mary Moss for quite a while. And so by virtue of the power invested in me as president of the Rotary Club of Raleigh, I deputized Mary Moss to transfer to you the coveted Rotary coffee mug, which you You rely on a higher power, but nevertheless, perhaps there are times when you need a boost that only the Rotary coffee mug can provide.
I'm going to drink out of it every day. And take my picture.
So we thank you in all seriousness. Thank you so much for being our guest and our speaker today. Really, really appreciate it. And now, Rotarians, without rising, we will close our meeting as we always do with the four-way test. First, is it the truth?
The truth.
Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And there's an inspirational video for everyone. And now, using the mountain pottery piece in light of the Rotary bell, I declare the meeting adjourned.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Melinda.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you.